Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to episode 53 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. Do you ever feel like there are never enough hours in the day? I totally hear you. Why is it that some mums with their businesses always seem to get so much done, whilst the rest of us feel like we are constantly chasing our tails and then heaving that heavy sigh when we clamber into bed at night because yet again, we just have not accomplished half of the things that we wanted to do? Or because something is derailing our productivity. But what is it and how do we tackle it so that we can keep going, so that we can be productive instead of busy, tick those things off of our to-do list and crush our goals? That is what today's episode is all about. I am going to share with you 5 things that may well be derailing your productivity without you even knowing it, and what to do about them so that you can take back your day. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to sign up to my 5 to Thrive email Sunday series if you haven't done so already, because every Sunday evening you will get in your inbox 5 tips and strategies, 5 super simple but mighty powerful strategies that will help you to take back your time, your home, your business, and yourself so that you can reclaim your power, so that you can restore the balance, and so that you can thrive both at home and at work without feeling like you have to choose between the two, whilst unapologetically creating the life that you want for you and your family without worrying about what other people think. If you haven't signed up to that, you are missing out, because I am sharing so many great tips and strategies every single week that are not only going to motivate and empower you to set your week up for success, but to help you go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey. So go and sign up, and I will see you in your inbox this coming Sunday. You'll find the link to do that in the show notes. Okay, and with that out of the way, let's dive in and talk about what these 5 things are that are most likely probably derailing your productivity without you even realizing. I'm going to share with you what they are, but I'm also going to give you some tips that you can use to push past these ones and solve them so that you can become a productivity powerhouse and crush your business goals with simplicity and ease. Okay, the first thing that is derailing your productivity without you even knowing about it is not knowing what your goals are. Because if you aren't clear on what your goals are, you won't be able to figure out the steps that you need to take to help you get there. Because being productive is all about doing the thing that will contribute most to the result that you are looking for. Do you know what your goals are? What are you actually working towards each day? When you come in and you sit down in front of your computer, what are you actually working towards? Are you crystal clear on what your goals are? And do you know what the steps are that you need to take in order to make them happen? Because if you aren't clear on those, then how on earth are you going to be productive and actually get the things done that you need to get done? How do you know then that you are working on the right things that are actually going to get you to where you want to be? So to resolve this one, make sure you are super clear on what your goals are. Have them written down, have them mapped out so that you can then see what you are working towards, so that you know then that you are heading in the right direction, that you are on track, what the mini milestones are that you need to work on to get to that point. And then don't forget to make sure that they are smart too. Not only that, but that they are smarter. We've all heard what SMART goals are, that they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. But add that ER on the end as well, establishing a routine and reviewing and reassessing. So make sure that you not only know what your goals are, but they are specific. It is super clear and it is outlined in that goal that you know exactly what it is that you are working towards, that it is measurable, that there is some kind of measurement in there that you can use to break it down so that you know that you have achieved it. Make sure that it is achievable as well, that it's not just a goal that is a stretch goal and it's so far out of reach that it's going to take you forever to accomplish it, or that it's not even possible because you don't have the resources or the finances or the knowledge that you need. Make sure that goal is achievable, that it is realistic, that you are not overstretching and trying to accomplish something that is out of reach. And then make sure it's time bound with that deadline so that you know when you are going to accomplish it. One of the best ways to set the deadlines is to use my Mum Boss term time strategy, my Mum Boss blueprint, where you design and run your business around to match the academic times of your child's school. It is such a game changer because you instantly know what the deadline should be based on when your kids are, when their term times are. And if you want to find out more about how to do that, go and check out episodes 18 and episode 44, where I break that down for you and help you work out how to set that up. But let's keep going. We've talked about the SMART, the SMART. Now it's time to add the E and the R. Make sure that you've established a routine so that you know when you are working on your goals. That is what is going to make you super productive. And that you are setting aside time to review your progress and see and make sure that you are on track. If you want help breaking this one down even more, I've got a whole mini series all about goal setting and helping you go from goal setter to goal getter so that you can crush your goals. So definitely go and check those out. They are episodes 18, 19, and 20, and I will put the links to all of those in the show notes. But if you really want to dive deep in the strategy of goal setting so that you can go from goal setter to goal getter and crush your goals without falling at the last hurdle, make sure you go and check those ones out because they will really, really help you with this one. But if you are not super clear on what your goals are, that is something that is going to totally derail your productivity because you just will not know what you are working on. And you can be spending hours and hours and hours feeling like you are busy, feeling like you are crushing it. But if the work that you're doing isn't attached to the goals that are going to get you to where you want to be in your business, you are not going to see the success that you know that you deserve, the success that you are striving to achieve. So make sure that you are super clear on what your goals are. The second thing that can derail your productivity is having a to-do list that is too long. I know what it's like to just spend more time adding to your to-do list than you do ticking it off. And it can be super, super frustrating. And a to-do list that is a mile long can leave you feeling totally, totally overwhelmed, which in turn derails your productivity. When you've got a to-do list that is too long, you just don't know what to start with. It's so hard to figure out what your priorities are, what to work on first, what is important, what is urgent, what can wait, what doesn't really matter, what isn't even needed to be on that list. Your to-do list should only consist of the things that you are going to do that day. If you are working from one mile-long massive to-do list and you're constantly adding to it throughout the course of the day, it is going to totally derail your productivity. It's going to totally demotivate you. It's going to feel completely impossible to accomplish, and it's going to make you want to throw in the towel. So how do you fix this one? What do you do if you feel like your list is just way too long and you're totally overwhelmed by all of the things that are on it? You create a master task list instead. Grab a paper and pen and write down all of the things that you need to do. Use that as a master task list. and then use that to create a separate to-do list each day that has the actions you need to take for just that day. Try to keep it no more than 3 items and make sure that they are the most important things that you need to do. Not the things that you want to do that would be good fun, but the things that are actually going to move the needle forward, the things that are going to bring in your clients, the things that are going to increase your income. Because you are running a business, you are not having a hobby. If you are not doing those things and you're not making those things your top priorities for that day, then you've just got a hobby. You need to make sure to be as productive as you can and to see and hit your goals and hit your income goals, your client goals, and all of the other things that you want to hit in your business to make your business successful and profitable, is to make sure that you are doing the right things every single day. And the way to do that is to not have a massive to-do list, a to-do list that is miles long that is going to leave you feeling overwhelmed. So go create that master task list. Write everything down and then prioritize things according to how important they are. And my favorite way to do this is to use Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog method, where he does this master task list and then he suggests to you that you list them out in order of priority. So create 2 columns on that list, one to list the items and one to mark out the priority. And then you can prioritize things using his ABCDE method. A are your must-dos. B's are your should-do tasks, but they're not to be done until the A tasks are done. Then your C tasks are the nice-to-dos, the things that you can do, but they shouldn't be done until the A tasks and all of the B tasks have been taken care of. Then you have D tasks, all of the tasks that you can delegate. And then the E tasks, the ones that you can eliminate and scrub from your list. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by your to-do list each day, put it to the side, create a master task list instead, and then create a separate to-do list, either at the beginning of your day, or I personally like to create my task list for the following day when I finish up work in the evening, so that when I come into my office each day, I know exactly what my top 3 tasks are that I need to work on. And I'm not spending and wasting time trying to figure out what my thing is for the day that I need to focus on. I can just come in and I can get straight to it. The other advantage of doing your to-do list for the day the night before is that you're part of getting to close out your day. You are finishing work, knowing that you are set for tomorrow. You can close the day down knowing that you know exactly what you need to work on tomorrow. And then you're not spending your evening or that dreaded moment when you're trying to go to bed and you lay down and then you start making lists of what you need to remember to do, because you've done it already. And it just really, really helps. So number 2, that is derailing your productivity, is having a to-do list that is too long. Conquer that by having that master task list. The third thing that is derailing your productivity is a lack of organization and systematization. Because if you don't have things organized and you don't have systems that you follow every day on the things that you're working on, not only does it slow you down, but it can also cause you to forget things or drop the ball or not do all of the steps that you need to do. But when you have things organized, when you have systems and checklists that you can follow, it makes you super, super productive, because it takes away a lot of the guesswork. It takes away a lot of the time spent chasing to track down files, and it saves the time of hunting through your notebooks of all of the notes that you need. And having the systems that you can follow, that takes away the headache of trying to remember what the steps are for all of the things that you do regularly. So if you don't have things organized, if your files, your folders on your PC are not organized, go and organize them. Get things down onto paper, get things into Trello, into Asana, whatever project management tool works for you. Get everything in there. Break down your goals, map out the steps, get it all planned out and mapped out. Organize all of your files and folders so that you can find things quickly and easily when you want them. Put them into folders and systems and give them names on the files that make sense so that you can find things quickly and right away. It really does save a lot of headache and stress. Because when you get frustrated when you can't find something, that is a moment where you decide you want to give up and you wander off and you go and do something else. But if everything is organized, you can find it and you can keep going. Might take you a couple of hours to get things sorted, but it is totally worth it. That upfront work that you do to organize everything and get it all laid out will save you hours and hours and hours of stress and headache in the long run. and you will get things done far quicker because you can go straight to and find whatever it is that you are looking for. Whether it is the stock photos that you have downloaded, or your files and creations that you have got going in Canva, or even just the folders on your PC with all of your Word documents and all of your emails, all of the things in your inbox. Go through it all, organize it all, put it into files, put it into folders, put it into places that you can find it quickly and easily. If you have got shortcuts that you use, organize your bookmarks, organize your desktop so that you've got and you can click straight into the things that you use the most often. Make your life easier by getting all of that stuff organized. It really does make a difference. Even if you're not an A-type personality, just spend some time doing those things for a couple of hours and you will be amazed at the difference it makes and how more organized you feel. And if you feel more organized, you are going to feel more motivated and empowered to keep going and get that work done. And the same goes for having systems. Having systems and operating procedures of the way that you do things day in, day out in your business makes such a difference. Not only does it mean that you are fully set up then if you decide it's time to bring in a VA or another member of team, because you can just pass those checklists and those systems over to them and they can just go and get on with it, and you don't have to spend time training them or pulling everything together. But it also gives you a checklist that you can use and follow every day when you're working on the same things that you do day in, day out, week in, week out. Have a look at what you have going on in your business and what systems you can create to make your life easier. What checklists can you create to make your life easier? For example, what kind of content do you create in your business? Do you write blog posts? Do you have a podcast? Do you have a YouTube channel? What are the steps that you take every single time to make those things happen, to get that post published, to get that podcast episode out there, to have that YouTube video published? What are the steps that you take? Write them down, because then when you've got them written down and you've got a process to follow, it makes it super easy to get it done. And it also kind of helps put things on autopilot, because you know that you can just follow the steps every single time and that you are less likely to forget or miss a step or drop the ball on something and forget to do something because you've got that checklist to follow. It really helps you get super, super productive because it is all written down. And on those days where you're feeling a bit icky and yucky and you're feeling like you can't really think straight of what you need to do, you can pull that checklist out, you can pull that system out and you can follow it, and it helps you get the work done. It makes it so much easier. You can bet that I have got a system, I have got a checklist written out for how I put my podcast together, all of the different steps that I need to take, and then I can tick them off as I go. I use my Trello board for this. I've got a Trello board for my podcast and for my blog posts, and I go through that and I have a card and a list for each individual episode with all of the steps that I need to take, and I can tick it off as I go along. And it just really helps me, especially because I really feel sometimes that I'm combating this A-type personality that loves to make lists and loves to have everything organized. But then I also have ADHD brain that I just look at it and think, meh, and I want to go off and I want to do something else. But having that list that I can tick off keeps me focused, makes sure that I follow the steps, and helps me to see that I am making progress and that I'm getting something done. So if you don't have things organized yet and you don't have systems and checklists in place, go and do them. Yes, it's a little bit of work at the beginning, but you really, really will thank yourself later, and it's a guaranteed way of seeing your productivity soar. The fourth thing that is derailing your productivity without you realizing is that you are probably trying to do everything yourself. Juggling all of the things is overwhelming and exhausting, especially in the early days of our businesses where it is just us and we're not at that point yet of being able to hire out or bring in a VA and pass some of the work to them to lighten that workload. We are our own marketers, we are our own copywriters, we are our own website designers, we are our own social media managers without actually doing, the work that we set up to do in our business in the first place. But no matter how much we might want to, we simply cannot do everything ourselves, nor do we need to. Take a look at everything you've got going on in your business. What can you outsource? What can you get somebody else to do for you or bring additional support and help in? Doesn't necessarily mean hiring a VA. Maybe that you've got a biz bestie who is great in another area that you don't enjoy, and you can do a swap and you can share the workload. Maybe they're great at writing social captions for Instagram, but you hate that. But then maybe actually you're brilliant at editing a blog post or great at giving a second eye and proofreading it before it goes out to publish. Can you swap and support each other that way so that you're not having to do everything yourself? Yes, it's still extra work for you to do, but actually it's productive work. It's work that you are doing that you can do fast, that comes naturally to you, that you enjoy. And then you're getting somebody else to do something that you don't enjoy, so that doesn't derail your productivity. Equally, what can you use? What tools and resources out there can you use to speed up and make your life easier? Because often when we're thinking of outsourcing, we are instantly thinking of a VA, but it doesn't have to mean that. It could be actually getting hold of templates. It could be getting hold of social media templates or swipe files for emails, swipe files for blog posts, using PLRs to help you get things going. What is there that you can bring in? Stock photography, all of that stuff, that is all actually outsourcing, and you don't need to do it yourself. And then think about things that you can outsource at home that you don't have to do everything yourself. Maybe you could get a cleaner in to free up some time. Are your kids helping you around the house? Is your partner, your other half, are they helping you with the chores around the house? Because if you have got other people living under the same roof as you, they are just as responsible for making the home life happen as you are. It does not all sit and should not all sit on your shoulders. What can you delegate to your other half, to your kids? And how and where in your business and at home can you lighten the load so that you can focus and get productive? I know it feels sometimes that we are the ones to do everything and everything doesn't happen unless we do it, but you don't need to do everything yourself and you don't have the time to do it all yourself. So if you want to stay focused and productive, have a look at everything you're doing and see where you can delegate or offload or outsource some of it to make your life easier. And then the final thing that is derailing your productivity is not having clear boundaries. I see this all the time in my clients. Saying yes to too many things or agreeing to do something without first thinking it through can be a huge, huge time suck that derails your productivity. The more time you spend doing things for others or doing things that are great and nice to do in your business but aren't going to move the needle forward, the less productive you're going to be and the less time you're going to have to make those goals happen and for you to hit the things and the milestones and see the success that you want in your business. How clear are your boundaries? What are you saying yes to? What is sucking up your time? What no longer feels aligned? Are you honoring and protecting your boundaries? Set clear boundaries around what you are prepared to take on and what you have the time, capacity, and energy to say yes to, so that you still have the time to work on your own tasks and your own goals for you and your business without feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Check in on your boundaries often, because if you're not honoring and protecting them, then things can encroach and very soon you can find yourself overwhelmed and not having any time free to focus on your business. This is something that I like doing at least once every 2 or 3 months, or even on those midterm breaks, is I look at and see where I'm at with my boundaries. Am I honoring and protecting them? Do they need a little bit of tweaking? Are there things that are taking up my time and sucking up my time and that I'm focusing on working on in my business that I think I should be doing because somebody else has told me to do, but no longer feels aligned or doesn't feel right? If so, I let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to say no things. And saying no to something doesn't have to be no forever. It could just be that now isn't the right time because you have another priority that needs to have your focus and attention in your business. What are your boundaries? Make sure they are super, super clear and that you are honoring and protecting them. When I realized that these 5 things were stopping me from getting things done and that they were relatively easy to fix, I went from exhausted and spinning in circles to feeling in control of my day and conquering my to-do list without feeling overwhelmed. And now you know what they are too. So if you feel like your productivity is being derailed, that you're not getting things done, that you're busy instead of productive, and you're frustrated and you don't know why it's happening, chances are it's because one of these 5 things. And like I said, you probably haven't realized what they are, but now you know. You can do something about it. And anytime you feel like you're not getting to where you want to be, revisit these 5 things because guaranteed it is probably down to one of these. Let's quickly recap. The first is not knowing what your goals are. If you aren't clear on your goals, you won't be able to figure out the steps that you need to take to help you get there. So make sure you know what your goals are. Get super clear on them and make sure that they are smarter, that they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time-bound, and that you have established that routine of when you're going to work on them and that you are regularly reassessing and checking in on them to make sure that you are still on the right track. The second one was making sure that you don't have a to-do list that is too long. Instead of having the to-do list that you're trying to conquer every day, create that master task list, put everything in order of priority, and then use that list to create a separate to-do list each day with no more than 3 actions on it so that you can be laser focused and know exactly what you need to work on each day. And when you've ticked those 3 things off, if you manage to do anything else, that is a bonus. The third thing derailing your productivity was that lack of organization and systematization. Get yourself organized. Put everything into files and folders and sort it all out so that you know exactly where everything is, so that you can go and grab it when you need it. Get those Canva files organized and into folders so that you can find all of the designs that you're working on when you need them, and sort out that inbox so that you can find that email when you're looking for it. And then get things systematized, get it down on paper, map out all of the processes that you use for creating your blog posts, for setting up a new funnel in Thrivecart, whatever it is you're doing. Get it mapped out and the steps down so that you can follow that checklist and make sure that you're not missing anything out. Number 4 was trying to do everything yourself, because juggling everything is overwhelming and exhausting, and you don't need to do it all. What can you delegate? What can you outsource? What tools and resources can you use in your business to make your life easier? And then finally, number 5 was not having clear boundaries. What are your boundaries? What are you saying yes to? How are you spending your time? And are you honoring and protecting your boundaries? Make sure your boundaries are super clear, and don't forget to check in often to make sure they're still working for you. Once I honed in on these things and I addressed all of them, everything changed in my business. I went from spinning in circles to being super productive. And yes, I still have days where I struggle because I'm only human, but I know that if things aren't going to plan, or I feel like I'm spinning in my wheels, I'm spinning in circles, and I'm starting to feel like I'm really not accomplishing anything, I revisit these 5 things. And so if that's the same for you, do that too. And I promise you, your productivity will go through the roof and you will be amazed what you can accomplish in just one day. You have got this, and I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.